Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with y'all the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Volume 4 palette. This palette is so gorgeous. There's so many different beautiful shades that it comes with, and when you look at this, you might be a little intimidated. However, I have found all of these shades blend so easily. So that's really what I love about this. I feel like it's easy to use, and even though the colors might look super bright, they're actually very wearable. So there's different colors that'll go from just everyday wear all the way to changing up your look for something fun and different, maybe for an event or date night. I mean, this palette you can do so much with. This palette does retail for $60. However, I feel like it's such a great value for what you're paying for. I mean, 25 different shades. You're getting several different regular eyeshadows. Some are metallic, some are matte. Then you have pressed pigments and pressed glitters. So really the options are endless with this palette, and I think you will get a lot of use out of it. I did also swatch several of these shades so you can see them up close, and just look how beautiful all of these are. And again, super easy to blend, so don't be afraid of that by this palette. Also, I will link all the products that you'll see in this video down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. In this video, I'm sharing several different looks you can achieve with this palette, so if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do other beauty tutorials as well, so make sure you check those out, and let's go ahead and get started. To begin, I'm using my BK Beauty 201 brush to use my transitional shade in A4. And I'm just working that in right above my crease, working back and forth to blend that in. What I really love about this palette is I feel like all of the colors are so beautiful, and they really would look beautiful on every skin tone. I did buy mine online from Sephora, and it arrived perfect condition in the mail. I was a little bit nervous about that, but it worked out great, and I'm so glad I got it. Also, Sephora, now you can trade in your Sephora points towards money off of your purchase, so I saved 10 bucks on it too. Next, I'm just carrying that same color down the sides to create that outside V. Next, I'm using my BK Beauty 203 brush. It's just a good wide flat brush, and I'm using shade A3 and just popping that into the outer corners. This shade A3 is so pretty and vibrant. I love it. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's just such a bright, beautiful purple pink color. Here I just grabbed my 201 brush again to further blend that in, and now I'm using BK Beauty 203 brush. It's just a good angled brush to go in with my lid color in A2. This shade A2 might be one of my favorites. It's such a beautiful lilac metallic color. And here I'm taking small amounts of that shade A2 and just slowly packing that on and then building up that color. This is my BK Beauty 202 brush, which is just a really good blending brush, and so I'm just picking up a little bit of that transitional shade in A4 to further blend everything in. For the highlight shade for this look, I chose B1, and I'm using that flat brush again and just popping that right onto my brow bone. Next, I'm going in with shade B5 in my same flat brush to just accentuate the outer corner a little bit, so I'm forming that V that I formed before and just deepening that up. Now I'm just finishing up with my blending brush and making sure everything is blended in really nicely, and that completes look 1. To begin look number 2, I'm going again with my 201 brush in that same transitional shade A4. It's just the perfect transitional shade for my skin tone.
Oh, if
For my lid color, I'm going again with the 205 angled brush in the color C1, which is a really pretty soft shimmery pink. So I'm picking up a little bit at a time and just packing and pressing that onto my lid. Now with the 201 blending brush, I'm using shade B2 for the outer crease. B2 is a really pretty mauve-y kind of pink, and it complements the C1 shade so well. Just continuing to work that color back and forth with that brush to blend everything in. Next, I'm using the flat 203 brush in the shade B1 again for the highlight. Next, I'm using the 204 brush by BK Beauty, and it's just a smudging brush, and then I'm picking up a little bit of the B2 and placing that right on my lower lash line. And here's the final second look with liner and mascara. For the next look, I wanted to do something very neutral and easy and great for everyday wear. So I'm starting out with that same 201 brush in the same A4 transitional shade here. Then I'm grabbing my angled brush and going in with A5. It's a beautiful neutral shimmer and it looks so pretty on the eyelid. So I'm just slowly packing that on and layering it onto my eyelid. And honestly, those two colors alone are perfect for everyday wear. For the highlight shade, I really wanted something that was more matte instead of so shimmery, so I grabbed my Smashbox palette for that and placed that right along the brow bone. Again, I think those shades alone are so perfect and subtle for everyday wear, but if you want something that's a little bit more dramatic, I wanted to demonstrate the shade B4 on the lid. It's just a little bit darker, more of kind of like a smoky eye look. And then I'm going in with the shade B5 in my outer corner to add even more drama. So this might be something that can take you from day to night. Just continue to use that blending brush to really blend all of that in. Next, I'm grabbing my smudging brush, which is the 204 from BK Beauty, and I'm going back in with that B5 right at the lower lash line. The metallics do have a little bit of fallout, so you may need to clean up with a large brush afterward. And this is the final look after gloss, mascara, and liner. Next up, I just wanted to demonstrate one of the pressed glitters, and I thought the shade E3 looked so pretty with all the other shades that I already had on, so I'm just gently pressing and tapping that onto my eyelid. Then I'm just using my blending brush to blend all that in. These pressed glitters in this palette are so beautiful, and they're such a great and easy way to elevate any eyeshadow look. For this next look, I'm starting out again with A4 for my transition shade, but for this look, I wanted to do something that was more fun and bold and really test out some of the fun colors in this palette. So next up, I'm gonna grab some of the D5, and it's a really pretty kind of coppery brown, and so I'm just kind of smoking that out on the outer corners here. While this look is definitely more bold than I usually go for just an everyday makeup look, this palette is inspiring me to do more bold looks on an everyday basis. And again, I feel like these shades are so wearable because they blend so well. Here I'm just using the edge of my blending brush to just further blend that out. Next up, I'm still using my 201 blending brush in the shade C4. It's a really pretty lilac kind of a purple color, so I'm working that in towards my inner crease and blending it outward. Next, I'm grabbing my angled 205 brush in the shade D4, which is a little bit lighter color, more like a lavender, and it does have a shimmer to it. And so I'm just lightly layering and packing that, pressing gently onto my eyelid. Next, I've got my 201 brush back, and I'm just taking some more of that D5 and kind of deepening up the outer corners here. Using the same brush, I'm grabbing a little bit of C3, which is a really deep lavender, almost a little bit of navy in it, but it does have purple reflect in the metallics. And I'm just gently pressing that into my outer corner, but not up too high because I don't want to get rid of the D5 that we just used. Next, I'm just picking up a little bit of A1, which is a really pretty shimmery metallic, and using my angled brush, I'm just gently pressing that onto my inner corners to really make my eyes pop. Now I'm just using my 202 blending brush to blend that all in, and I'm actually picking up a little bit more of the A4 transitional shade to help that blend in easier. Now I have my 204 smudging brush, and I'm picking up just a little more of that C3 right on my lower lash line, and I feel like this really pulled the whole look together. This is the final look here with liner and mascara, but I wanted to play a little bit more with what I already had on. I wanted to see what this other pressed glitter could do. So I picked up some of the E2 pressed glitter on my fingertips, and I'm just gently pressing that onto my lids. Then I just used my blending brush to blend that in, but next I wanted to do something fun, and so I picked up the shade C2, which is a really pretty bright pink, and I'm just using that right in towards my inner crease just to give it even more of a fun, bold look. Next up, I'm just using my MAC 224 blending brush to blend that all in, but I really love this pink color on C2. I feel like this totally just amped up this look and made it so much more fun, and it's perfect for an evening out. Next up, you'll see the completed look with liner and mascara. And next, I really wanted to play with the color D2, which is a bright neon yellow color. And I honestly wondered, why the heck did they put that in this palette? But I did know that yellow cancels out purples, so I wanted to layer that on top of this pink shade, and you can instantly see how it totally neutralized that. So you can definitely play around with this color to neutralize other colors. But I really hope that you enjoyed looking at this palette and I gave you a good idea of what it has to offer. Alright, well that wraps up this video and all the looks I've shown you. However, there are so many endless looks you can create with this palette, so I hope you love it as much as I do. I will link all the products down below, so make sure you check that out. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!